Spain. This comes the same week as the House Judiciary Committee holds a hearing about ways to find a path towards citizenship for illegal immigrants brought in as children. Joining us now to talk more about this, Congressman Stephen King. Congressman, nice to have you here. Talk to me for a moment about your choice of words there. Many people are upset by the way that you use the language to describe these children. Drug mules?
Well, we should remember that I said my heartstrings are tugged by the valedictorians who were brought over by their parents and were not aware that they were breaking the law. It was their parents that caused them to do that. That's all the preface to this. And I said, but remember that for every valedictorian, the people that are for this DREAM Act amnesty are characterizing it as valedictorians get these benefits. And so I put the other perspective on it.
I want to put the full quote up there for a minute, just a minute. Let me put it for our viewers to see. So put it up there for everyone to see it. If we could do that right now, that would be great. In your words, this is what you've said. For everyone who's a valedictorian, there's another 100 out there who weigh 130 pounds, and they've got calves the size of cantaloupes because they're hauling 75 pounds of marijuana across the desert. I mean, do you have evidence to really back that up?
Sure I do. I've spent a lot of time down on the southern border. I've made multiple trips down there. I've ridden for days with the Border Patrol. I've sat on the border at night in the dark, no night vision, minimal security, and had illegals coming across that border on both sides of me. You can count the shadows and can't be sure, but the noises you hear, you know are real. I've been out there in a ranch house at night as Border Patrol agents will come and talk to me in civilian clothes, alone, one at a time, and ask not to be identified and hand me documents without names, dates, or places on it, so the narrative they tell me cannot be identified back to them. I have unloaded illegal drugs with my own hands down on the border at Arizona. This is hands-on, eyes-on from the Border Patrol as well. And I got a call from them yesterday, and I said, do I need to come back down and refresh myself? And they said, no, you're spot on what you're saying, but maybe you got the weight 10 pounds up. So that was the conversation yesterday from a call that came to me unsolicited as the Border Patrol, some of them I understood standing around there listening to the conversation. But here's what happened. I have said this every way I can think of, and nobody paid attention, Uma.
But let me ask you this.
Now they're paying attention, and they're confronted by the reality
of what's going on.
Well,
let me ask you this, but nobody else, no one else in your party or otherwise is saying the same thing. How do you account for that?
Well, no one has challenged me on the facts of the statement that I've made, and I think that's telling. And there is an article out there now that goes back and does the analysis, and the calculation that is in there shows that if 10% of those coming across the southern border are carrying drugs, and we know from Jan Brewer, governor of Arizona's statement, that the drug cartels are in the people smuggling business, and she said by definition, if drug cartels are smuggling people, they're smuggling drugs. We know that. Well, and so what's their number? What do the critics have to say about the number or the description? They have no hands-on, no eyes-on. They don't have any data. I'm factually right, and they're offended by the reality because they have an agenda.
Well, does it upset you that your colleagues aren't standing by you in the GOP?
Well, my colleagues are standing by me. They come up to me constantly and talk to me.
Well, publicly they're not saying it.
I know you're right.
But publicly they're not standing with you. They're not saying that they agree with your comments.
But is the description such that they have to go out to the press and do a press conference, or can they come and tell me, I know you're right, I support you? They can do that privately. You know, they have a lot at stake here. There's a leverage within the House of Representatives, and they all need to be concerned about their own leverage. So I'm not asking them to step forward. I wouldn't ask them to step forward. I don't want them to take repercussions. I want the rule of law preserved, and we can still have compassion for every human person whom I believe has a right to their dignity, Uma.
All right, Congressman. Thank you for joining us today. Appreciate it.
Thank you.